And according to this, we are live. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Low Budget Livestream, the return of the Low Budget Livestream. It's been a while, and I've missed this. As always, I'm your host, the real Gino Reynolds. Let me know you're here in the chat if you're watching the stream. If you have any questions or comments, want to talk about anything, the inmates run the asylum here. I do want to talk about a few things, but I'm going to wait for some more people to show up before I start talking about the hospital stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring up a few things. One, I want to show a little bit of support to Brad Jones's movie, another Cinema Snob movie. They are trying to raise funds for some post-production. They were over halfway there. They were trying to get another $5,000 to do post-production and shoot some new scenes and stuff. I don't have it in the link right now and below, but later I will put the link to that. I believe it's Indiegogo he's doing it on. But they're just trying to raise some funds to do some extra shooting and stuff, and I wanted to help them support that. But anyway, I'm going to go through what chats are here right now, and then we'll see how many people show up, and then I'll probably start talking about the hospital stuff. Excuse me. And I'm a bit out of practice, so bear with me. I'm still not feeling real fantastic. I'm feeling a lot better than I was, trust me, but I'm still getting back into the swing of things here. Bryce says she's eating dinner, be a little late. That's okay. Daniel says, can't wait to talk about the Sonic trailer. Oh boy, what's there to say about the Sonic trailer? Even if Sonic looked right the first time, I was not impressed with that trailer. I thought the spin dash looked kind of cool. I've seen the trailer where someone corrected Sonic, like made him look more like Sonic. And while that helped, it still looks like one of the Chipmunks movies or something like that, where everything looks fake over real. I would rather see like a 3D animated Sonic movie, to be honest. Yeah, just the story. I mean, okay, and then they showed Robotnik finally with the bald head and everything. My guess is that's near the end of the movie or an after credit scene, which I can't stand when a trailer shows part of the end of the movie or an after credit scene. So I wasn't too impressed with the Sonic trailer. Chat, let me know what you guys thought of it. I don't know. I was not impressed with anything I saw other than maybe the spin dash. Looked like they tried to force the rings into being something, so it looks like they can teleport people. I did think the rings over Paramount Studios or whichever one was doing it, the rings over the mountain was kind of neat. I mean, I like little clever, stupid stuff like that. But really not much about that trailer impressed me. Excuse me. And the trailer for Onward, I have not seen it, so I can't really comment on it. I don't seek out a lot of trailers. If I see it in the theaters, when I'll probably see it, but I have not seen it yet. That's Pixar's new one, correct? And discuss why Aladdin got yams. What the heck does that mean? You got to remember, guys, I've been out of it for like a month or so you're gonna have to catch me up. So yeah, please explain what that means. Why Aladdin got yams? Sorry, I don't know what that means. Bill Casey says the Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump. You darn right. I am a little disappointed though. I bought this shirt, and while I like Tupac and I love Humpty Hump, that should be Money B, not Tupac. I know he was a part of Digital Underground, but he's more known for being on his own. And Money B ain't on the shirt. I was a little disappointed. That being said, it is your chance to do the hump. I love that song. And I love Digital Underground more than so their early stuff. I like their later stuff too, but their earlier stuff I thought was a lot better. Bryson says, now 4 more days until a trailer from 3 from Hell is released. If anything, the movie will definitely be interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure if I wanted another one of those movies. I saw the other ones a long time ago, but I don't remember them that much. But I mean, you know, I'll give it a watch. I mean, I didn't dislike the other ones. Winter says, Gino, bear hug, big bear hugs to you. I'm happy to be back. I wasn't sure how I felt about doing this tonight. I was gonna try to do it 2 weeks ago, but there was just no way I couldn't. I just was not up to it. Desiree says, hello. Hello to you too. Nice to talk to you. Zepster and Sub's been all, yes, we need to talk over Twitter a little bit. We got some stuff to talk about. We need to catch up. I've been a little iffy on social media. I'm off and on it. So if I don't get to all your comments and everything on social media, don't take it personally. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. But yeah, Zepster, we need to talk, buddy. I'm sure we got some catching up to do. Bill says, glad to hear you're feeling better. I am getting there. I still feel weird. I would show you guys what it looks like, but I don't want to do that. I really don't want to show myself like that. Besides, maybe they would probably kick off my stream. But no, I'm healing. I'm back to work and everything, but still everything, even just sitting here feels kind of weird. Sometimes it's hard to sleep, but I'm getting there. I'm doing okay. Let's see. Desiree says Gangster's Paradise for the trailer. Yeah. I was a little disappointed with that. I think some song to do with speed might have been a good pick. Or some song from Michael Jackson, given the Sonic, Sonic was, I believe it was Sonic 3 he did music for, 2 or 3. And he got uncredited for. I think that probably would have been a better fit, but that's just me. Bill says, I feel so bad for the animators of the Sonic movie. They had to animate an entire movie and then start over because the people in charge made bad decisions. Well, chances are, I'm willing to bet there was a model out there that looked more like the game, and the people that make the decisions were probably just like, well, we probably want to make them a little more human, kind of like the Smurfs in those first 2 Smurf movies with Doogie Howser, that where they don't, they're Smurfs, but man, they look a little too human. That's why, people that rip on that last Smurfs movie, I'm like, at least they're animated, and at least they look like freaking Smurfs. But yeah, that being said, we all know who the real heroes of that movie are going to be, whether it's good or not. At least the real heroes are the fandom, first of all, that voice their opinion, and the animators themselves if they come up with something way better. So we'll know who the real heroes are. It certainly ain't the movie studios. Bill says, Alexa, set trailer music to random. Yeah, no kidding. Once it says, have you seen the trailer for Lucy, aka Ma Part 2? No, I have not. I don't have any idea what that is. I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Bryson says, the Sonic trailer looked bad. I don't know if it's because I am now a bitter old man, but the Jim Carrey shtick just looked like it would be annoying. Also, is that the guy from Westworld in it? Yeah, Jim Carrey looks like he's going back to doing, just the shtick looks like an old skit from Living Color, or one of his old movie roles. And while I'm not opposed to it, I like the idea of him doing it. But if he looked like Robotnik the whole time, it might be better. And it looks like he's gonna be running a lot of that movie's humor, because I'm willing to bet he's gonna do a lot of ad-libbing in that, and I'm not sure what I feel about that. And I'm not sure about the guy from Westworld. I've only seen the trailer a couple times, and I paid attention enough to know that it wasn't very good. Daniel's asking Desiree a question. I'll go ahead and break that up. Talking about Rebel Wilson. Desiree says Rebel Wilson have standards. Rebel Wilson, I'm not really a big fan, but I think given the right material, she could be good. If you gave her a really good comedy writer, but everyone always plays to the, hey, she's big, or hey, she's clumsy, and she's becoming that that stereotype, and it's unfortunate. I don't know uh, what kind of real talent she has because we haven't really got to see it yet. But let's look at Melissa McCarthy, for example. Uh, if you give her the right material, she's doing really good. She has the timing, she has the chops. I'm not saying Rebel Wilson is Melissa McCarthy, but you just got to give the person. And I mean, if this is the extent of her comedy, of Rebel Wilson's comedy, then I mean, I guess that's it. But um, it's, you don't know until you see him do really something different. Um, so I mean, maybe she's better at other things, but she's being wrote into this stereotypical "I'm the big girl, I'm klutzy, I'm supposed to be funny girl," and it's just not working for her. And I have not seen The Hustle, so I'm a little behind on a few things. And by the way, speaking of Melissa McCarthy, if you've seen the trailer for The Kitchen, that movie looks awesome. I love seeing Melissa McCarthy do some more serious stuff like that. Granted, there's a little humor in the trailer, but it's a more serious movie. And it has Tiffany Haddish in it, and she's doing a serious thing too, and it looks great. I was excited for it when I heard about it, and I finally saw the trailer, and now I'm even more excited about it. Let's see. Bill says, I think they put the Fast and Furious people in charge of Sonic because it had fast in the title. Probably. Look, that Sonic movie, man, I just don't know. It should have been animated. That's all I can really say. They're finally doing the animated. I mean, we haven't heard anything about it other than the announcement, but we're finally getting the animated Mario movie. So, it's, I think they should have done the same with Sonic. They should have done something with Zelda. I mean, just go animated. Not everything has to be live action. Do mocap if you want. That's fine, but it doesn't need to be live. I'm tired of this. It has to be live action. Let's see. Where was I? Let's see. Daniel was talking to Desiree. Bryson says, why do American movie studios think we want kaiju movies about people and not the kaiju? I have no idea. The new Godzilla movie, the monsters were cool when they were there. We actually, unlike the first Godzilla movie, we finally get to see them fight, let them fight, in the first half hour. But then they wasted some of the creatures because we have to set up all these human stories. It was, it was, again, it wasn't Kong Skull Island, and even that movie had a lot of weak human characters, but at least had some good human characters in it. Let's see. Bill says they should make a kaiju film based on Moby Dick, but with Godzilla instead of Moby Dick. Isn't that Godzilla? No, I'm just kidding. Excuse me. Let's see. Daniel says Hop 2 this time. It's Hedgehog. I wouldn't put it past studios. Bryson says, since the new thing seems to be adapting every Stephen King novel over again, I support Melissa McCarthy for Misery. I would be okay with that. I'm not saying I want to see a remake of Misery, but I would be okay with that. More than okay with that. I can't remember though. Apparently there was some stage show if anyone knows about it, please comment on it. There was apparently some stage show. I think we've talked about it on this before, on the live stream before. There was some stage show, and I think Bruce Willis wanted to play the role of the writer, but I don't remember if they talked about who might play the Kathy Bates character. I can't remember much about it. So if anybody knows anything about that, please comment on it. It's been a while since I heard about that. Bill says the Sonic movie. Oh, I guess I should get in the movie voice here. The Sonic movie opens. We see a panning shot of the sun rising over an open road. Sir Mix-a-Lot starts singing about butts. Oh God, that movie! I can't wait. Daniel says Avengers Endgame is at 2.715 billion, and it can't break Avatar since Life of the Party didn't. God. Wentz says, don't make it animated. We saw what they did with Tom and Jerry. It's a trap. It's a trap. Look, if I have to choose between animated and live action, yeah, I gotta go animated. If just do like 3D animation, and I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying it's a better idea. Um, let's see. Desiree says, I would be so down to see McCarthy as Annie Wilkes. So curious to see that. Daniel says, the kitchen reminds me of Widows. Honestly, I liked Widows. I really did. The kitchen looks better to me. Maybe because and Widows, there was a strike against it with me because I figured it out like in the first 10-15 minutes, something like that. It was quick. I'm like, oh, this is what it's gonna be. And it was. Still like the movie though. Um uh, Desiree said Bruce Willis did play the writer on. Okay, and Laurie Metcalf played Annie Wilkes. Thank you. I swore we had talked about this, like it had happened, or they were interested in doing it. I'd love to see that. Bill says LaQuisha made me realize there's more lead roles in movies for dudes pretending to be black women than for actual black women. Why is this a genre? I have no idea. I didn't see LaQuisha. I talked to Brad about it and I watched his review. I just hadn't had time to watch it. I'll probably check it out sometime. And the way he talked about it, it was the guy had a voice he thought was funny. And that's it. He thought he had a funny stereotypical black woman voice. And that's like the whole movie. And I don't know. I had no real interest in watching it. I probably will watch it eventually. Daniel says, wouldn't it be funny if unfunny comedic Melissa McCarthy played Godzilla in Godzilla King of the Monsters? She would have added some gravitas to that role. But anyway. All right. So now that we're caught up on the chats here, I'm going to talk about where I've been. I don't remember dates, so just bear with me when I say a month ago or so. But this all started, at least from what I can figure out, it started the night that I reviewed Avengers and The Bright Ones and whatever that other movie was over on Brad's channel. We did our review and everything, and I left and I was hungry, so I'm like, okay, I'm in Springfield. We don't have a Chipotle in Decatur. Anytime I go out of town, I try to go someplace we don't have in town. So I go get a burrito and some chips and hot salsa. Just keep that hot salsa thing in mind, right? Because I thought it was playing into what was going on. So I go home, I eat my dinner, I go to bed. I wake up in the morning and my stomach is killing me. I mean, I could barely sit up. My stomach is killing me. And I'm like, man, I thought, okay, it was because I ate hot salsa from Chipotle. Because I had it on the burrito and I had it with chips salsa. I thought I was hurting. I was like, all right, I just need to get it through me. You know what I mean? And I mean, I hadn't had a stomach ache that bad in a long time, if ever. It just hurt really, really bad. And I was going to do a lot of stuff that day. I had so many plans to get things done. I bet I had been working on a video game series, a new Geno's Bad at Games. It's taken a lot more time to do before that because of the way I have to record it and everything. But I was working on it and I was going to work all day on it and get it done so I could start releasing it. And, but I got nothing done that day. I laid in bed groaning pretty much for most of the day, but all of a sudden, and I was getting sick too. But near the end of the day, I started to feel better. I was like, all right, woo, that's like, boy, I'm just going to start avoiding hot stuff. Right. Cause I thought that's what was messing with me. And so then my boys came for my week on, week off thing the next day. And starting that day up until the day they left the next Sunday, I didn't feel right. I mean, just the whole week, I wasn't eating a lot. I was drinking plenty of water, but I didn't feel right. And I was able to eat, but then there was days I felt like I was going to get sick, and I'm like, man, am I getting something? I didn't know what was going on because, like I said, Sunday I felt okay, and then it started on Monday where I was just like, I'm not feeling right. Um, so I get them back to their moms on Sunday, and then I go to the movies. I saw Long Shot, and then I was gonna come home, eat some leftovers I'd had, have a beer, and watch. It would have been episode 4 of the last season of Game of Thrones. Um, so that was gonna be my plan. Now, when I get home during Long Shot, my stomach was bothering me a little bit, but I'm like, maybe I'm just hungry. And it's like, my stomach's not feeling good. Probably not a good idea to drink. I still got 2 Game of Thrones beers. I don't even know if I'll ever drink. I I haven't drank any alcohol since the hospital. I don't know. I don't feel like it. Um, but anyway, so I get home, I eat my leftovers, which there wasn't very many. Um, and then I watched the show, and then I went right to bed. So now we're at Monday. This is the day I went to the hospital. I'll try to tell you what I remember. Because here's the thing, I have to go by what a lot of people told me because I don't remember much of that day. Um, and here's the thing, on that Monday, I was supposed to go to St. Louis and watch an early screening of Detective Pikachu. That was my Monday plan. Um, so here's what I remember. This is my recollection. I get up Monday and I'm not feeling good. And I get up and instantly go to the bathroom, throw up everything I had for dinner the night before. Um, and so I'm like, okay, maybe my body just wasn't feeling it. I don't know. So I go to work, and I remember going to work. And the whole time my stomach's bothering me a little bit. I go to work, I get the show ready, and then I remember during the show getting up at times that I could, which is probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7 or more times to go to the bathroom to throw up. And we finish the show. Again, I go to the bathroom, I throw up, and this is the last thing I remember. I remember my stomach hurting so bad. That's all I remember. And here's what I was told. I was told I was laying on the bathroom floor, and people were asking me, "Are you okay?" And I guess I was waving them off, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine," which I don't remember that. I was told that I came into the control room eventually and said, I guess I was holding my stomach, and I said, "I don't feel right." And my director, Kui, she said, "Look, I know we got to do cut-ins. Just go home." That's what she told me. She said. I was told that I called my parents and telling them to come get me. I don't remember that. uh, I guess I apparently I walked out to my car, sat down in my car, and laid the seat back. And a buddy of mine at work, his name's Lee, and I didn't know it was him at the time. I remember someone saying, "Are you okay?" And then I guess my parents showed up. I don't remember that. They drove me to the hospital. I don't remember that because when we're at the hospital, I'm asking them, "Where am I?" Um, and I guess I was clawing at my stomach because it hurt so bad. And this might be a little bit of a TMI session, so just bear with me. When I did the pee test, I guess I was so dehydrated it looked like lake water. So it took, I don't know, a couple hours, they said, to get me back into a room and finally get me something for the pain. Uh, so then they give me a room. They give me something. I don't know what they give me, but it felt good. I all of a sudden the pain was going away, and I was gathering my thoughts a little bit. And I'm like, "Am I at the hospital? What the heck?" And my parents kind of told me what happened, and they took me in for a CT scan, and uh, it's what they had thought. I had pancreatitis. I guess some gallstones were blocking something that was causing my pancreas to inflame, and they said we're gonna have to take it in the next. We're gonna have to figure it all out in the next couple days. So we're admitting you. So this is my first time ever staying in the hospital. I've been in the hospital. I've had broken arms and garbage like that, but I had never stayed in the hospital other than I guess when I was born as a baby, right? But you know what I mean, like not having an operation or whatever. So I'm on there on Monday and they get me in the room. Pain's starting to come back. They give me morphine. Does nothing. Um, I'm like, they're like, "Are you still hurting?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, I don't know how much you gave me or whatever, but it ain't working. So they start giving me something called Dilaudid, like every 4 hours, I think it was, and I was needing it every time. Eventually, I was able to work my way off of it. I'm not gonna lie, the last couple of days I was there and they were taking me off of it, I wanted it, but I worked it out. It was nice having though. Let's put it that way. Feeling nothing for a while was quite nice. Um, so if anyone's got an IV, no, I'm kidding. But so Monday, here's the thing. I hadn't eaten anything since Sunday. So Monday, the water I drank, I'd thrown up, and everything I'd thrown up. And so Monday I had nothing, and they said I couldn't have anything. They started pumping me full of IVs, and they did so for like 5 days. I looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man when I got out of the hospital. They put so much IV in me, I couldn't put my shoes on barely. I mean, it was ridiculous. I know they had to do it though. So yeah, the Monday I couldn't eat anything, and because they didn't know if they were going to go in, I had multiple doctors telling me different things. You know, this one says we got to do this. This one says no, we're not doing that. We're going to do that. It was ridiculous. No one was giving me a straight answer. So Monday they ended up not doing anything. So finally, my mouth is so dry I can't swallow. You know, you start getting that gross stuff all around your lips and everything in your mouth, and finally, like, you can have ice chips up until midnight. I tell you what, though, those are the best tasting ice chips ever. So Monday they didn't do anything, but they did admit me. Tuesday they didn't do anything. So I'm sitting there all day. I can't have anything. Finally, they're like, "Well, we'll not do anything today." Well, can we have ice chips? Yes. So I do that again on Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, they're like, "All right, what we're going to do, we're going to go in, we're going to clean out these gallstones." But then another doctor said, "Well, you might have passed the stuff." See what I mean? They were contradicting each other. And finally they said, "Nope, we're taking you, we're cleaning you out. Fine, let's just do this thing." All right. So they took me in, they knocked me out. From what they said, they put me on my belly, stuck a tube down my throat and cleaned out these stones, however it is they get in there. So um, they clean me out, and because all of a sudden I'm waking up in recovery. And I felt fine, but boy, was that recovery bed uncomfortable. I'm like, my back is killing me. Can we at least get back to the other bed? They said, "Yeah, we'll get you back there." So I felt okay. I was still in pain, but it was the same pain, right? At least it was a little more manageable with the painkillers. So then it was like, well, back to ice chips until midnight. Okay. So we did that. And of course, there's the usual hospital stuff where it's you'll get 2 minutes of sleep. They'll come in, take your vitals, and you'll fall back asleep. And 5 minutes later, they'll come in and change your IV and wake you up. All that stuff's going on. So just keep that in mind. I will say for a few days, I had an angel of a nurse, and I have to admit that I kind of had a crush on her. But she was working it out to where she was giving me my IV. Even if the IV wasn't totally finished, she would change it. I guess you're not supposed to do that, but she would do it anyway. She would do my painkiller, the IV, and the vitals all at the same time. So I'd actually get maybe a couple hours of sleep. So for a few days, it wasn't so bad, but then there's days it was just terrible. So anyway, Wednesday comes around. They're like, "All right, we're taking the gallbladder." So they take me into surgery again, and we have a good laugh because they have to shave my whole belly. And that was kind of funny. I said, "As long as you don't shave my beard, we're good." And So anyway, they get me prepped for that, and this one takes a lot longer to get me prepped for, and this is when I started getting a little worried, and because again, I've never really dealt with anything like this before. Um, so anyway, they take me back to the room, and the way they're talking to me, getting me prepped, it's just it felt weird to me because it's just like they're almost talking. I guess they're just trying not to worry you. They're trying to talk in like gentle, but it sounded like they were kind of talking to a child. And I wasn't acting worried or looking worried, or maybe I looked worried. I don't know. I wasn't looking in a mirror, but they said, they're like, okay, now we're going to do this and you're going to breathe good. You're doing so good, or maybe I almost felt like a dog, right? I don't know. But they're doing this. They're getting me prepped. All of a sudden, I'm knocked out. And then I wake up in recovery and I feel like hell. Um, so I wake up in recovery and I'm just like, what the heck happened? And I hadn't seen it yet, but I'll describe to you what they did. There was two ways they could have done this. One was the easy way. They like it's the easy way, hard way kind of thing, right? So they go, okay, the easy way, we can make 3 holes in you, 4 counting the drainage thing, whatever you want to call it. Um, they put this little tube in a receptacle for drainage. Um, so they go, we'll cut you here. I got a gash right here, a hole here, and a hole here. And they said if we can do that, we can get it out that way, and it'll be easy recovery or an easier recovery. If not, we got to cut you up. Thankfully, they were able to do the easy way. Um, I'll still say though, I can't imagine how the hard way would have been. It was sucked. So they did that, but man, I felt like hell after that. And so that was Thursday, and then all of a sudden they're like, you need to get up and walk. And Thursday, I'm just like, F that, because the way I felt. But eventually, near the end of the day, I was ready to get up and try to walk. And I started doing it more and more whenever I could. And then also on Thursday, they had me eat. So you got to remember, I hadn't eaten anything Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and finally Thursday night, they're like, here, you can have liquids. Yay. So it was some juices and, popsicles and that stuff. I had beef broth. Boy, was that tasty. So we did that. Friday, it was more walking. We're going to try to get you on a different diet, like a low fat diet. And so Friday was just recovery day. But I'm getting to a point Friday where while I was enjoying some of the solitude that I was getting, because boy, I ignored my phone and everything else. Some people were getting mad at me. I wasn't getting back to them. It's like, yeah, I just been cut open and I don't feel like talking to anybody. um, but so Friday I was recovering. They're finally starting to have me eat a little bit. The first meal I had were called like grandma's chicken and noodles. And if those are named grandma's chicken and noodles, then my grandmother, who made amazing chicken and dumplings and chicken and noodles, is rolling over in her grave because, man, they were awful. So then Friday, that was kind of, but again, I was getting to this point where I was getting stir crazy in this room because I'm just in this room the whole time. The bed's always uncomfortable. Just everything that could bother me starting to bother me. They're on me about, I know they're doing their job where you got to, you need to be able to go to the bathroom. You need to be able to do this. And it's like, I'm trying and I can't, there's some things you can do and things you can't do easy when you can barely move. So, Friday was a recoup day. Saturday, I was hoping they were going to let me go Saturday, but they didn't. And I'm kind of glad they didn't though, because we get through that day. Finally had a better meal or two. Breakfast was better. I honestly, I can't remember. I think I only ate 2 meals that day. And then Sunday rolled around and they were like, I was like, I told the nurse that was there, a nurse I wish I would have had, for part of my other time, because I don't know if he was just off or something, but he was this real cool dude, very sarcastic guy. And I appreciate some good sarcasm. And we joked around a lot. And he was just like, got to get me out of here, you know. And he's like, we'll see what we can do. And I guess he kind of forced the issue. They took out the drainage thing because there was hardly anything coming out. And that was one of the weirdest experiences because they pulled out something here, a tube here, and it made me gag. It was weird. It felt like someone, because the way they pulled out, just how I felt, I almost threw up. But then I finally got to see the cuts and everything when I put my clothes back on. And boy, was it, it was, uh, it was weird. It was just weird. And um, just had, you know, because I'd never, I mean, I've had cuts and stuff, but it's like you got this huge gash here and just holes in you, and it was just weird. But then I finally got to go home on Sunday. They wouldn't let me walk out. I was like, come on, let me have my pride. Let me walk out. And they're like, no, we got to wheel you out. Okay, I guess that's the hospital thing. So, but anyway, so that's my hospital story. I went home. I had the boys the next week. I have a saint of a mother because she came over and helped me with the boys all week. Even took them back to their moms the week after. And again, I'm slowly getting better. I mean, I can move fine. I feel mostly fine. There's just things here and there, like when I sit here working and I'm slouching like this, you know, it just things start to feel weird here, but I'm doing okay. So that's the hospital story. That's where I've been. You know, a lot of people are like, "Where are you?" Thankfully, I mean, that's one thing I like about having a smaller YouTube base is because, you know, there's that whole algorithm thing, and when you don't post, you start to lose subscribers. Stuff like I lost 4 subscribers. I can't complain. Um, but anyway, that's where I've been, and I'm still playing catch up, guys. So you guys have to bear with me. I may try to go see the 3 or 4 movies I missed. So I don't know if I will, though. They're really movies I don't care too much about. I may go see them if I have time, but honestly, I'd rather just move on. And whenever I told my mom this the week I was recovering with when I had the boys, I had to at least get back on the radio. And I'm like, and John Wick 3 comes out. It's like, come on, this is the one I have to come back on. I'm not missing this one, right? So I did do that for the radio, and finally my comeback video was for John Wick. And I didn't plan it, but that scene in the first John Wick where he's like, I'm guessing I'm back. I had to put that in the review, and because that's one of my favorite lines from that movie. And then I'm like, huh, yeah, I think this must be some kind of fate. So anyway, that's my time back, or my time away, and I'm back for the most part. I mean, I'm still playing catch up on a few things and trying to come up with some ideas and everything, but you know, it felt weird coming back. I wasn't sure. Part of me didn't want to come back, but that was just me, my self doubt. You know, that's all that was. It wasn't that I really had a desire to leave. But anyway, I'll get back to the chat here. Woo, we built up some. Let's see. Where was I? Here we go. Bill says Melissa McCarthy herself is great. She's just in terrible movies. Yeah, she got typecast so much. And that was unfortunate. I'm glad she's finally getting to break out and do better things. Winter says, you never doubt Chipotle. It's not Taco Bell. I love Chipotle, but man, I got to lay off the hot sauce now. Because it definitely aggravated things. I'm trying to stay away. I even ate some medium salsa the other day. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings with my boys, and we got chips and salsa for them to munch on, and even that salsa kind of wrecked my stomach. Here's another thing. I'm not going to say this is a bad side effect, but I can't eat as much. So ever since getting out of the hospital, my body just won't let me eat as much. Oh no, what a terrible thing. Daniel says, I wonder if Trey Parker will make Life of the Party better if he took Melissa McCarthy's place. I don't know if anybody can make that movie better. Scott says, always doubt Chipotle. It killed me many times. You know, I've had to give me stomach aches before, and that's my own fault. But man, what it did to me that next day is unforgivable. Granted, it was my pancreas as well. Daniel says, That's why you didn't like the Seth Rogen humor in parts of Long Shot. It's not because it's unfunny. It's just that your stomach is stopping you from laughing. No, I enjoyed that movie. I'm just tired of, hey, I'm Seth Rogen. I have to be a pothead in every movie when I know he's better than that. Um, when that movie was being smart, it was better. When the movie just had to rely on Seth Rogen pot humor, I was like, well, I've seen it before. It's funny, but it's the same shtick. That's why. No, I laughed plenty during that movie. That being said, when I was in the hospital and then up until kind of now, my stomach still hurts when I laugh a little bit. Um, let's see. Winter says, I will willingly take the Game of Thrones beer off your hands, buddy. I'm seriously glad you're okay, though. What are you sipping on right now? No, you can't. My game. It took me forever to find him Game of Thrones beers. No, I'm kidding. It did. It takes a while to find them around here, and eventually I might sip on some of them. I just probably won't drink the whole thing. That's one thing they asked me in the hospital. They're like, have you been drinking a lot? Which I don't drink a ton. I mean, I was having a beer, every other week when I was watching Game of Thrones. So not like I'm chugging them, right? I'm like, no, I said I have like one or two a month. And they're like, okay, it must just have happened. But they said, I guess alcohol could have caused what was happening, but I don't drink a ton. Um, let's see, what was the other part? Oh, thank you for being glad that I'm okay. I'm glad I'm okay too. Um, what am I sipping right now? Apple juice. It was in the fridge. Um, Desiree says, Ugh, this reminds me so much of when I found out I had gallstones. It took them 3 years to actually find out why I kept puking and being in extreme pain. I still haven't got the remove because broke. Uh, yeah, they suck. Um, I guess I don't know. They had to go in with me. It was an emergency because they said I could have died. They said it could be instant, could be sometime down the road because it was causing the pancreas to. Um, so I mean, I broke or not. I mean, if something's wrong, get it checked out. I mean, they have to treat you. Desert says I just been managing it for about 8 years, just trying to avoid eating dairy, too much spicy and too much acid. Which is torture for me because girl loves her spicy food. Yeah, see, that's just it. I don't like spicy stuff because it's hot and I want to try to put hot things in my mouth and see if I can survive them. I like the taste of peppers and stuff, but yeah, I'm getting older now, and I guess I gotta slow down. Um, but yeah, it's you know, again, having this done now, it's like, well, I guess I guess I my body's forcing me to do better. Like I said, I'm probably, I mean, I was doing better before I went to the hospital, eating less and things and eating better. Um, but I can't even do as much as I was doing before. Uh, Part of me is a little worried about it, but I mean, I feel fine. So, Scott says, sorry, I can't stay for the whole thing. Watch the rest later. Glad you're feeling better. When you get up to this point, enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you for coming for the bit that you did. Daniel says, I've been in hospitals before, not counting when I was born. I had one open heart surgery and I was 9 months old. And when I just turned 11, my appendix burst and I went in surgery so they clean it up. Um, yeah, after being in the hospital for the week I was in the hospital, I don't want to be in the hospital anymore. I know that's an inevitability because I mean we get older and things happen, but if I can avoid it, I'm gonna. Dana says, "Ooh, you should ask her out." I thought about it. Trust me. But then I was like, oh yeah, I got to get out of here first because because I'm stuck in a hospital. And that being said, I mean, she was a cutie. I, I'm sure I wouldn't be the first one. Uh, but anyway, um, let's see, where was I? Winta says, don't get a crush on nurses. Don't you ever watch Cinemax After Dark. Wait on second. It just depends on the show, right? On Cinemax. Daniel says he meant 11 years old. Bryce says going to surgery can be nerve wracking. Yeah, it was weird. just because, I mean, I've seen shows and stuff where they show the first person view and you're looking up, the camera's looking up and you're supposed to be that view. That's what I felt like. I was in one of those shows where you're looking up and everyone's looking over you and everything. It was weird. I'm glad it's over. Winston says, see, have a crush on the sarcastic dude. He was just a good dude. I appreciated this guy, this nurse's humor when I was at my worst at the hospital, because Saturday and Sunday I'm just like, I gotta get the F out of here. Right. And him making me laugh a little bit helped. And I appreciated that. And Winston, thank you so much for the super chat. As I always tell everyone, super chat, you can donate if you want, but it is unnecessary for this stream. I appreciate it a ton, but it is unnecessary. Give if you want. Daniel says, did Brad, Lori, your parents, coworkers, kids, your boss visit you at the hospital? Brad and Laura no, but they live towns over and I don't expect them to. We did text back and forth a little bit. My parents were up there just about every day. Coworkers, my coworkers know me enough that though some of them sent me texts, my coworkers probably know me well enough that I probably just wanted to be left alone. Because I do get that way sometimes, even just when in regular life, I'll just get to a point where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to shut off for a bit and just give me my space. And I think they kind of knew that this was probably one of those times, but I did get some texts and some well wishes from people. So, I mean, I knew they were thinking about me, and the way some of them sounded, they missed me a lot when I was gone. So I did appreciate that. My kids got to come up. They were with their mom that week, but she brought them up for them to see me. They didn't understand why they couldn't hug their dad, because my youngest especially likes to just bear hug me around the belly, and he's still having to catch himself. You know how in cartoons where they kind of do the skid stop when someone's running at someone, they go, he did that a few times. He's running up to give me a big hug. I'm like, wait, buddy. He's like, and it's pretty funny. But they got to come see me. I talked to my boss and everything. Like I said, my coworkers just kind of knew that I just needed my time. Bryce says, wheeling out is a hospital thing. I used to wheel people out after endoscopies which are way less intense than what you went through. Yeah, I know it's a hospital. I'm just like, I begged. I'm just like, can I walk? It's like, you can follow me with the with the wheelchair in case something happens, but I'm like, can you please just let me walk? And they're like, no, we can't do that. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Bill says, I hate we live in a society where Desiree can't get surgery she needs because she's broke. Yeah, it's everyone should be able to be treated. I don't want to get too political here, but that's just it. I mean, I'm lucky enough. I have my work insurance, and I also, me and my boys have Medicaid. I make just little enough that I can qualify for Medicaid for me and the boys. And it used to be just for the boys. With my son Andy having Champ 1, he's labeled special needs, so he instantly gets it. And then my other son, just because I make what I make, he's able to get it. And there for a while it was just them, which I was fine, because up until now I really never had. I mean, I had some issues. I'd have to go to for a doctor's appointment or something, but not in the hospital. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I had to check, because I had it for, I don't know, maybe 6 months to a year finally. And before I went to the hospital, we had a dude out. I'll just say that with this guy, I felt so bad for him, because when it came to him and his family, if it could go wrong, it would. He was out for a long time, and then he was out again for medical issues. And so anyway, all of us are covering for this guy. So I'm getting like a ton of overtime, more overtime than I've probably seen in forever. And so then that messed up a few things for me financially. I mean, yeah, it was nice having extra money, but for the low income stuff, it messed me up a little bit. And I was afraid that it took away my Medicaid, because then I'd have to pay for the hospital stuff. Because I mean, my insurance still covered their part, but I got the bill, and I'm like, oh boy. Um, but I still had Medicaid, so it should take care of it. So I shouldn't have to really pay anything, maybe a minor thing here and there. And I couldn't imagine not having anything like that. It would suck. And Desiree, I feel for you. I mean, if you don't have that stuff and can't get that stuff done, it's freaking ridiculous that in the greatest country in the world, and not everyone can get treated when they need to. I mean, things happen to people. Even the healthy people, things happen, and it's ridiculous that you can't get taken care of. Desiree says, "Yeah, the hospital told me unless my gallbladder bursts or gets infected, they won't remove it. Otherwise, I got to pay to get it removed." Yeah, it's like you almost have to die for us to take care. It's BS. Um, Daniel says that you should do a GoFundMe. Desiree, Bryce says, did you get to keep the hospital socks? I love those socks with the sticky stuff on them you get at the hospitals. I used to keep a pair from last time I was admitted. Don't know where they are now. I didn't keep them. I could have. I would have never used them. It's funny you say that though, because my grandma, my dad's mom, she swore by those socks. And anytime she'd go to the hospital or anytime someone went to the hospital, she's like, "Can I have the socks?" And she wore them things all the time. I was so tired of them after the week. I wanted no reminders of the hospital. The worst thing I had to wear was under the socks. They had to put these like leggings on me that kept rolling down because I got thicker legs, and these things weren't made for big dudes like me. And they were to keep my legs from swelling up and stuff, and I guess they worked, but man, I wore those things for like a week and they wouldn't let me take them off the entire time, and it sucked, and I was just ready to get them off. I finally last day, I'm like, for the love of God, just let me take off these things, and they finally did, thankfully. No, I didn't want them, but if my grandma were still alive, she would ask me for them. Daniel says, if I seen Rocket Man, Booksmart, and The Dog's Journey. Rocket Man I just saw last night. I'll probably work on a review for that soon. I'm not sure when. Maybe tomorrow night. I don't know. I'm not sure when I'll work on it. Booksmart and Dog's Journey, no, I have not seen. If I play catch up, I will go see both of them. Bill says Dark Phoenix has a 22 on Rotten Tomatoes. I guess I can say something now. It's Wednesday. It deserves it. I don't know when I'm doing. I Brad and I went to St. Louis Monday and saw Dark Phoenix. I'm gonna be doing tomorrow, I think at 11 Central Time. I think we're doing our review of Dark Phoenix over on his channel. We're gonna be doing a live stream. Yeah, I think it's 11 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, it's not good. And I will wait for the reviews. I don't want to say too much because I need to really collect my thoughts on it. But yeah, I was not really a fan. Dan says Secret Life of Pets 2 has 6.3 on Rotten Tomatoes. I ask why, because it's not even average. Daniel says, how is Rocket Man? Without going, I haven't had a ton of time to really think about everything. But Rocket Man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was because unlike Bohemian Rhapsody, it having the music and everything out of order made sense because though it was following certain parts of his life, it was definitely a like fantastical look at Elton John's life. It wasn't, telling lies and calling them facts. It was basically Elton John telling like a fantasy story of his life up until he went to rehab. That's where it stops. It goes to where he gets out of rehab and moves on, and then the end credits start talking about other things in his life. For the most part, I enjoy it. There were some parts that didn't work for me, but most part I enjoyed the movie. what's funny though is, and I'm gonna have to look up the name. So give me 1 second here. There was a crossover character in Bohemian Rhapsody and in Rocket Man, and it was the oops, that's the wrong Rocket Man. Um, and it was the uh, the record producer that he was a record producer for both Elton John and Queen. And what's funny is, and the character's name was John Reed. And he got in trouble eventually with Elton John because I guess he was stealing money or moving money the wrong way or something on purpose. Well, anyway, what's funny is in Bohemian Rhapsody, Aidan Gillen, who was Littlefinger in Game of Thrones, played him, and in Rocket Man, Richard Madden, who was also in Game of Thrones, played John Reed in Rocket Man. So, universes confirmed. I don't know. It's just funny to see two Game of Thrones actors play the same role. I thought that was funny. But anyway, I enjoyed Rocket Man. I know a lot of people were mad that it was R. I think it kind of needed to be. I mean, you could have told it in PG-13, but I think to really push the points home that it was trying to push, it probably needed to borderline PG-13 R territory. I definitely I enjoyed it. I don't know if it'd be one I'd watch again. Of course the music's good, but what was cool about the music is there was times that he was performing it on stage, and that was used to tell like time lapses or just a stage performance. Also, though, there were things that were showing parts of his life where he and other characters were singing the songs. So in a way, it kind of felt like, like maybe Mamma Mia did, where different characters are singing these songs. With that being said, being that the character was the person singing the song, it was Elton John and it was Elton John music, I think it worked really well. Daniel says, which is better, Dark Phoenix or Pets 2? Well, if I had to be in hell and I had to choose one, I would rather watch Dark Phoenix, but that's not saying much. Bill says, Bill and Ted Face the Music cast Bill and Ted's Daughters. Yeah, I heard that. I can't remember who they got. I'm excited for that movie, though. My son and I just watched Bogus Journey this last weekend, and he had seen Excellent Adventure, and he loved Bogus Journey. He's excited for the new one too. Desiree says, yeah, I had zero faith in Dark Phoenix. I love X-Men, but the movies failed. Them only good that came from the movie is Now I Can Have Colossus in Marvel Strike Force. I know people are in a lot of disagreements about all the movies, and I know we disagree on a few of them, Desiree, because I know you don't like First Class, and I get your arguments on that. I liked First Class for what it was. It was better than, after getting things like X-Men Origins Wolverine, First Class was, I like First Class because of the Magneto story, was the main reason I liked it. But I like the first two X-Men movies I like. Of course, Last Stand wasn't very good. X-Men Origins wasn't very good. I liked First Class. I love Days of Future Past. I just like having both the cast together, even though I didn't like that they were starting to force Mystique into the main character role. Apocalypse was terrible. And Dark Phoenix, well, part of me wants to say Dark Phoenix is a better movie than Apocalypse, because granted, Dark Phoenix doesn't spend forever having Apocalypse create cosplay for his horsemen. It's just not a very good movie. Out with a whimper, as they say. I really don't want Disney to bring these characters over, or to bring these that's just it. I like some of the actors, but I don't want them to even connect it to this universe. I want them to create their own thing. Let's see, where was I? Bryce says Wonder Woman 84, good or trying too hard for nostalgic factor. Being that we've only seen the poster, I mean, I don't know. Until I see the movie, I mean, or even a trailer, I can't really judge too much. I mean, yeah, from an advertisement standpoint, yeah, they're trying to do that 80s vibe, kind of like you got with the Guardians movies or something like that. I like the poster. I mean, I can't say I love it. I do like the costume, though. I do like the new costume. Once says, spoil this if you will. Is this more bohemian like biopic or more across the universe jukebox musical? Because the advertising has been confusing. If you mean for Rocket Man, it's more of a musical. There's biopic elements to it, but it's definitely a fantastical look at. I mean, you've got things where he's doing concerts and he's floating and just all sorts of weird stuff happens. And honestly, it really worked for me. I was enjoying it. Again, there's parts I didn't, but for the most part, I really enjoyed it. Let's see, where was I? Desiree, that Wonder Woman poster looks like an acid trip a little bit. Daniel says, I actually enjoyed Pets 2, 8 out of 10. Not as good as the first film, but it's still enjoyable because I'm an Illumination fan. See, my problem with Pets 2 was it was 3 episodes of a TV series that I'm guessing failed that they crammed into a movie. Anytime the stuff with Kevin Hart's bunny popped up, I was just like, come on, not this. I didn't mind Max's story, but I would have liked that to have been the whole thing. And can we admit that the cats in Pets 2 were the minions of the movie? Let's see. Daniel says, thoughts of Sonic getting redesigned and got delayed to Valentine's Day 2020. It's better than what we got. I mean, I'd rather they delay it and make it look a little better. Bryce says, Robert Pattinson as Batman is getting a lot of flack, but I think it can work. Though I've heard Bruce is to be 30 in the movie, so that he's been in way better stuff after that. I still wanted Jamie Dornan. I'm a little disappointed he didn't get it. I don't think he was ever up for it. I don't hate it though. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He could suck. He really could. I mean, Batman's such a tough character to pull off. I mean, simple enough backstory, but I mean, he's a complicated character. I think he could pull it off. Now, I haven't seen him in a bat suit. The artist Boss Logic put him in a bat suit, like photoshopped him in, and I thought it looked pretty cool. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, it will be neat to see kind of that not old, not young Bruce, just kind of in the middle Bruce Wayne. I'm very curious. Let's see. Daniel says, I don't know what to celebrate on Valentine's Day 2020, Sonic's dental surgery or Peter Rabbit's sexy buns. Is that really both the movies that are coming on Valentine's Day? Is there not an action movie for me that is going to wash the other movies, the taste out of my mouth? That being said, I kind of liked the first Peter Rabbit. It wasn't terrible, but, it wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't terrible. Desiree says, Pattinson has the chin and the acting chops, but I don't think he looks like a Bruce Wayne. Something about his nose up just doesn't work for me. Again, I'll reserve judgment till I see something. It could have been, they could have picked a lot worse. I will say that. Bill says Robert Pattinson is a great actor who happened to be in Twilight. Exactly. And think about it. Think about Twilight. He was very stalkerish in Twilight, almost scary. Just saying, Batman kind of needs to be scary. And there is that whole, I see a lot of people dropping the vampire. He's already been a bat joke, even though they didn't turn into bats. They only sparkled in Twilight. Bryson says, Indiana Jones 5 starts filming 2020 after Crystal Skull. Does anyone want this? Not to be an ageist, but Harrison Ford will be 77 years old. Can we just retire the character? We don't need to keep series. I'm fine with one more hurrah, especially since Crystal Skull was the last one, even though I do love him. I do love him at the joke at the end with Shia LaBeouf picking up the hat and he's like, not yet, you little brat. I know he's getting older and he's come out and said he doesn't want to see anyone else play the character. So if they do one last hurrah and make a way better movie than Crystal Skull, not a big CG fest like Crystal Skull was, it could work. I mean, is it a little too late? Probably, but one last hurrah I'd be okay with. It's just sad that we're not going to get his dad in it because they killed him off for Crystal Skull. Let's see. Bill says, I want to see a Clayface film done as Batman versus the Mob, but it also happens to be a monster movie. Same with the Man-Bat movie. Yeah, I'd love to see those characters in Batman as well. And I'm really hoping that these new Batman movies bring more of those type of characters in. Um, I mean, I get why they don't want to do some of those, but then again, they brought in, I mean, it's hard to compare the Nolan ones because they tried to be realistic, but I want to see that stuff too. I want to see Clayface and Man Bat and all the weird characters, the ventriloquist and all that stuff. I want to see all that stuff because I just think it would be compelling. And from what I'm hearing, the Batman is going to be very detective Batman for this trilogy they're talking about. Not a bad thing. Daniel says, I know you're upset about Dark Phoenix, but at least Dark Phoenix isn't played by unfunny comedic actress Melissa McCarthy. Part of me might have wanted that more. Let's see. Bryson says, Roland Emmerich's Midway will be more disrespectful to World War II vets than, or will Roland Emmerich's Midway be more, I'm sorry. I'm getting tired, guys. Will it be more disrespectful World War II vets than Bay's Pearl Harbor? Yeah, can you get more disrespectful than Bay's Pearl Harbor? I don't know. I haven't seen anything on Midway, so I couldn't really tell you. But I mean, that's a hard hurdle to jump over. Daniel says, Birds of Prey, Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn, and Kingsman 3 are coming on Valentine's Day. Thankfully. And that's another thing. Kingsman saved me once. The first Kingsman saved me from 50 Shades. John Wick 2 saved me from the second one. Nothing saved me from the third one. Let's see. So at least something else is coming out. At least a couple of things are coming out, even though Kingsman 3 is a prequel. Gotta have a prequel. I don't know why. Desiree says, to be fair, Pattinson hated Twilight. Yeah, and I'm happy about that. Like every interview from the beginning, he bashes the movie and story. There's a link a coworker sent me of random interviews with him expressing his disdain. Yeah, I had heard he wasn't a huge fan. Which, I mean, you're a young actor. You're going to take roles like that. It's almost like Jamie Dornan in 50 Shades. You watch 50 Shades and you can tell that Jamie Dornan does not want to be there. And I mean, I imagine the same for Pattinson. And again, I've seen him in so many good things since then that, I mean, there's so many actors that have been in, they're good now or they're considered great now, and they were in crap earlier in their career. I mean, just ask Matthew McConaughey about a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Bill says, new Shaft Red Band trailer. If there's been one that's come out in the last couple weeks, I haven't seen it. The last one I saw one. If they came out another one, I haven't seen it, but I have seen I've seen a trailer for it, and it was Red Band. It looks like they're trying to be Deadpool, which Samuel L. Jackson laughing and blowing people away. I'm not too against, especially since they all connect to the original Shaft. I did pick up a copy of the Racist Christian Bale Shaft. I need to go back and watch that. I mean, Grant, I'm sure you don't have to watch that before seeing the new Shaft, but I'm going to anyway. Bryson says Tony Todd is going to be making an appearance on Peele's Candyman, as he should. That's great. Hopefully it's more than just a glorified cameo like in Hellfest. I was sad that Tony Todd wasn't in more Hellfest. Let's see. Daniel says, wait, Peter Rabbit, the 1517 to Paris, Early Man, Samson, or Black Panther didn't save you from 50 Shades Freed. Black Panther, I don't believe, came out on the same weekend as 50 Shades Freed, if I'm not mistaken, right? I don't remember. Like, again, it's been too long, but it wasn't that same day. I know that. See, the thing when I say they saved me was I would see them on the same day. If it came out the same weekend, of course I saw Black Panther first. But I went to the theater to see 50 Shades and nothing after. When I went to see the first 50 Shades, I got to watch Kingsman after. When I saw, and I planned it this way because of the first one, seeing the movie after made me feel better. So I saw the second 50 Shades, and then I saw John Wick 2 after because I knew it would make me feel better, and it did. Go ahead and get the rest of your questions in now, guys. If you got any more questions, comments, I definitely want to cover them, but we'll probably be wrapping up soon. Let's see. On the channel, I'm going to be with Brad tomorrow on his channel. We're going to be talking about Dark Phoenix. And again, if you can donate to Brad's, and some of you probably already have, but if you could donate to the post production, if you can, please do. If you can, that's understandable. I don't know where they're at right now. As of Monday, they were at like 65%. Let's see, on my channel, I'm playing catch up on everything. I will have reviews for Dark Phoenix. Probably work on it tomorrow. Then again, I may not do one because I may just lead everyone to Brad's. If I have some more thoughts, I'll put them on. I'm trying to work on a few different Geno's Bad at Games. I just got to get in front of the computer and get to play that stuff. I just don't have time to sit down and play a lot of video games. So I'm not sure what else I'm working on. I got other movie reviews. I'm still trying to catch up on shows and everything else. I know there's some more shows coming out. I wanted to see She-Ra season 2. I still want to watch Jack Ryan on Amazon. I'm pissed that they canceled The Tick. I was so sad because the second season was really good. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff I'm working on. I'm just playing catch up. You know, a week in the hospital and 2 weeks of recovery plus doesn't do so well for trying to keep up on things. So anyway, I'll read these comments here. Surprised the Lego Batman movie didn't save you from 50 Shades Darker. I saw it first. Again, I watched it before. I'm talking about seeing something right after that same day. I watched Lego Batman with my boys on the Thursday night preview night. Bryce says, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, my number one film I'm looking forward to this summer. Did I like the trailer? Yeah, I did. It's very Tarantino. It makes me curious, at least. That being said, I'm ready for it to be out. So Tarantino, I guess, said he's going to be working on a Zorro Django crossover film. Okay. I don't know if it's the Zorro, like the Antonio Banderas Zorro, or if it's a new Zorro, but I'm curious about that. Of course, I'm still mad that I haven't got my Jules Winfield spinoff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And, you know, I know Tarantino's not for everybody, but I do at least dig seeing his work and seeing what he does in his films, especially since his movies. Here's the thing about his movies: all his movies connect, and they have their own history. I mean, in Inglourious Basterds, they blew away Hitler in a movie theater with machine guns, right? I mean, I know that's not how Hitler died in real life. They have their own history, and everyone's like, "Well, you're mocking the Manson thing. You know, you're begging. You know, he's going to do his own thing with it." And that's because his whole all of his movies connect and they have their own history. So I am curious to see what his historical look about Manson is like. Let's see. Desiree says Keanu wants to play Constantine again. This displeases me. Matt Ryan's best Constantine. Look, I love Keanu Reeves. I wasn't the biggest fan of Constantine. It wasn't the worst thing, but yeah, Matt Ryan looks and acts the part. I so bad want to see Matt Ryan in an R-rated Hellblazer film where he can actually smoke and cuss and do everything that Constantine does. Will it ever happen? I don't know, but it should. I was mad working for NBC, it was kind of cool seeing all the promo stuff come through the station because I snagged a few of the things, but that Constantine show on NBC was the wrong network to have a Constantine show. Heck, the CW is the wrong place to have a Constantine needs to be on like HBO or Showtime or even Netflix or something like that, to where they can do R-rated, because that's an R-rated character and he should just totally be R-rated. Let's see. Hey, Rob is here from Smirking Gun. How you doing, buddy? I'm glad you can make it. He says, sorry I'm late watching your review in Handmaid's Tale. If everyone, and I always tell everyone, you can promote your channels on this live stream. I'm going to promote Rob right now. Go to his channel. He's trying to reach 1,000 subscribers so he can do live streams. And because YouTube likes to change the rules and say, well, you got to have this, got to have that. Why they just won't let everyone do it. It only makes sense. But definitely go to his channel, subscribe to his channel, help him get to 1,000. I believe you are like 650 or something around there. I can't remember exactly, but I'd like to see him get over 1,000 so he can start doing. I always like to say I like to see people being able to do their channels the way they want to do their channels. If you want to do your channel all live streams, you should be able to do it. But no, they got to make all sorts of stupid rules. So if you haven't subscribed to Smirking Gun Reviews, definitely go there, subscribe, and share his channel and help him reach his 1,000 and beyond. So he can do his channel the way he wants. He reviews so many different TV shows and movies, and he's got contests going on, all sorts of stuff. Definitely check him out. Let's see. Daniel says, which movie would you rank least bad to worst? Wonder Park, Ugly Dolls, Pets 2. Least bad to worst. Pets 2 is least bad. Oh boy. Ugly Dolls, Wonder Park, but those could switch. Pets 2 could have been okay if it didn't feel like three different shows. Because they just kind of cram them together at the end. Bryce says Deadwood movie is good. If you've seen the series, I watched the series a long time ago. I haven't seen the movie yet. I know it just came out Friday. I tried to go back and watch the series, but then again, hospital. So anyway, I didn't get to catch them on series. I still may just watch. I'm thinking I might watch the movie, do the series again, and watch the movie again and see how much it helps. I remember liking the series the first time. And I am looking forward to the movie. Bill says the Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover anime film is a thing that exists right now. Yeah, I want to see it. I am curious about that. They were in comics together. It would be cool. I like the idea of Batman versus Shredder, just things like that. I mean, I like crossovers. Is it good? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I do want to see it though. It could go either way, I'm sure. Bill says Chris Hemsworth fought to keep Thor fat throughout the end game. He would have gotten thin when he was worthy. That's what I thought was going to happen. And honestly, even what they did kind of irked me a little bit where if you mean when he got worthy and got Mjolnir, yeah, that would have been weird. Like if all of a sudden he's thin again. But even when, and this is a bit of spoiler, I'm sure everyone's probably seen Endgame by now, but when he finally dons the armor, he's still big and his beard gets all styled. And stuff like that bothers me. It's like, wait, when did you go to a hairdresser in the 2 seconds you got hit by lightning? Amazing Spider-Man 2 did that garbage where Electro left somewhere, and then when he showed up the next place 2 minutes later, he's got an outfit with logos. But yeah, I mean, that being said, they just styled his hair a little bit and put the armor on him, so whatever. But I was glad they kept him that way. Now, I think when he shows up in Guardians 3, which was what seems to be what's going to happen, he'll be back to regular Thor. Then again, maybe they'll want to keep it that comedic again. I mean, I was fine with Big Thor, but I think the stuff with Fortnite and all that I get that he was depressed. I would have rather seen him just be in deep depression versus silly and drunk that first part. Let's see. Smirnka says, thank you so much. Hey man, no problem. I'm going to be getting in contact with you soon because I want us to be able to do something. I know I keep saying that, and it's just, well, when can I find time? Well, I'm going to try to find time, and we're going to get together and do something. I know there's a few movies coming out that we should probably do something for, and I definitely want to do that. Desiree says, I had high hopes for the Constantine show. The first episode teased Dr. Fate. Yeah, that was cool. Which made me so curious of them adding other DC characters. His acting was spot on. The look was great, but nope. One season. Yeah, it's NBC for you. They got something that works, and then they cancel it. Let's see. Bryce says, I'm glad Kevin Smith is making a new Jay and Silent Bob. Anything to get off those weird horror films. I know he loves his daughter, but the Lily Rose Depp, Harley Quinn Smith films have been bad. Yeah, I was not a fan of what was it? Yoga Hosers, especially. And then what was the other one? Tusk. Yeah, I mean, I was curious for Moose Jaws, but I don't know if it'll ever get made. Let's see. Smirk Gus says, "Did review on my channel. Spoiler: I almost cried in the review. It was so sweet." Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that movie. I don't, with Milch being sick now, I don't know if we'll ever do more, if they'll ever do more. So hopefully it's a fitting in. Again, I haven't seen it, so I don't want to know. Um, but anyway, let's see. Sorry, I just popped something up too early there. Uh, Andrea Cinephilo, I guess that's how you pronounce that. Andrea Cinephilo, worst 2019 movie I've seen so far. Oh boy, I get to look up 2019 movies. Give me 1 second, because I have to look at a list because I see too many things. Let's see, 2019 in film. Oh boy, that doesn't help me. Off the top of my head, and I got a few in front of me here. I didn't like The Prodigy. I was disappointed in Glass. And these are just some I have in front of me here. I was really sad that Hellboy wasn't good. God, I can't even remember half of these. Thought Pet Cemetery wasn't very good. I wouldn't say it was the worst. Let's see. La Llorona was kind of generic. Medea Family Funeral would probably be up there. Let's see. Yeah, it's Dog's Way Home was kind of hard to sit through because it was just, come on, another thing where they can, where we're hearing the thoughts of a dog, Oh, here's a better list here. I don't want to go through all these, but yeah, there's been plenty of bad movies this year. Replicas was hard to sit through, and I love Keanu Reeves. Bohemian Rhapsody I couldn't stand. Let's see. I'm going through January here, trying to remember what all I saw. I know there were some worse ones. Oh, Serenity was hard to sit through. Let's see. I'm not going to do every month. Don't worry. I'm just going through a few of them here. What Men Want was hard to sit through. I don't know. I would probably give that to something like Medea. But that's kind of a gimme. There was no way that movie was going to be great. I just kind of tuned some of those movies out. I didn't like Greta. It could have been good, but I didn't like it. Let's see. Yeah, it's hard to remember what I saw. Of course, Wonder Park. Let's see. Is there any more here that I saw? Problem with this website I'm looking at, they put in all the re-releases and everything. It's like, oh, that movie came out this year. Yeah, it was 20 years ago. Yeah, I'll go through April and then we'll stop there. Let's see. I mentioned Pet Cemetery. Yeah. I wasn't too, Missing Link was fine. I wouldn't call it the worst. Yeah, I don't see too many more. I know there's more, but The Bright Ones I saw with Brad, that was garbage. But that didn't get a wide release. That's all I'm gonna do on those. Okay, there we go. Let's see, where was I? Bryson says, Smirking Gun Reviews, I'll definitely go and watch a movie review. Just got around to see a movie, missed it Friday night. Desiree says, it's magic Norse Viking hair braiding lightning. It's how the gods do. Okay, as long as there's a historical reason why he got his beard braided when lightning hit him, that's okay. Let's see. Desiree says Taika Waititi is going to do a live action adaptation of the anime movie Akira. I have the biggest mixed emotions ever. Here's my okay. I love Taika Waititi. I love that guy. I love anything he gets his hands on. I thought his Thor movie got a little too silly, but even it had charm. the Hunt for the Wilder People, I think is what it was called. That was really good. Of course, What We Do in the Shadows is fantastic. But Akira's really, really serious. So as much as I like him working on that, I like him working and doing things. I don't know. I hope he shows a different side of himself doing Akira. Also, I guess they're talking about him maybe doing another Thor movie. I saw something like that today, I think it was. Um, but anyway, yeah, him working on Akira. If he shows us a different side to himself, I think that would be cool. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what I think of that either. Bill says there's a petition for Danny DeVito to play Wolverine. I love the internet sometimes. Yeah, it's something. Man, there's a petition for everything. Robert Pattinson shouldn't be Batman. Petition. Danny DeVito's Wolverine. Petition. You know, there's always a petition. Redo Game of Thrones. Redo Star Wars: Last Jedi. I mean, sorry, petitions don't work. So we know who's not playing Wolverine. I know Keanu Reeves years ago expressed interest in playing Wolverine. So I can't say I wouldn't want to see that just because it's, you know. Then again, I'm sure there's someone better out there to play Wolverine. I want to see if they do, if they redo Wolverine, I want to see 5'3" Wolverine. As much as I love Hugh Jackman, and part of me would love to see him in an Avengers movie. Logan was such a great send off. I don't want to see him play it again. Let's see. Dana says they should call it Secret Life Pets 2, Pet Harder. Let's see. Bryce says anime live actions are at the worst done by people who don't understand the source well, as Ghost in the Shell, or people who love the material but it's still mediocre, aka Alita Battle Angel. Yeah, I didn't hate Alita. I liked Alita Battle Angel. Okay, I mean, it had some issues, but it was definitely better than Ghost in the Shell. I wasn't too familiar. I mean, I had seen Ghost in the Shell. I never had saw Alita or read the books or whatever, but yeah, Ghost in the Shell. I'm like, really? This is supposed to be that? Alita didn't bother me, but again, I wasn't too familiar with the source material. I heard they changed a lot though. Bryce says even the Japanese suck at anime live action as an Attack on Titan movie. Yeah, I never saw that one either, but I didn't hear good things about it. Desiree says, I read he's a super fan of the movie and wants to keep it super faithful, but is he capable of not being charmingly funny? I think he can. I really do. If it's a passion project for him, I could see him showing us a different side. I really do. I really hope so. He may add a tiny bit of his humor in there, but I don't think it's going to be Thor. Go ahead and get your last questions, comments in, guys. I'll take a few more if you guys pop them up. Again, I'm going to be with Brad tomorrow doing a review of Dark Phoenix. Again, I think it's 11 o'clock Central Time on his channel. We went and saw it Monday. Looking forward to talking about it. Let's put it that way. I'm not sure how spoilery we're going to get, but anyway. And then also, if you can support Brad's, I believe it's Indiegogo, to try to finalize his movie, Another Cinema Snob movie. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to end it for tonight. I think it's time to rest, sitting here in this chair for an hour and a half, starting to bother me just a little bit. So I am so glad that you guys joined me. Again, I'll take whatever last comments you guys pop in while I'm kind of closing it down here. I'm so glad you can join me. Thank you so much for coming. And I know the last month or so I haven't really got to do anything, but as I shared, you guys, I'm sure you guys understand. It's just now I get to play catch up. And though I thought I was getting caught up, then it's like, oh yeah, I didn't see these 6 movies. So we'll see what happens if I just pass them over. Because again, the movies that I missed, I wasn't too excited to see them anyway. So anyway, I'll finish up the comments here. Sarah Haley Finn cast the MCU films. And I'm sure whoever she casts as Wolverine will be great. She's Marvel's secret weapon. I hope so. I don't, as much as I love some of the people in the X-Men movies, I don't want to see any of them in the Marvel stuff as X-Men. Use them as other things is fine. I would love to see them take others. I mean, I think even though I don't want to see him play the part again, Patrick Stewart would be the one I would move over. That being said, his performance in Logan, I don't think I want to see him do it again because that he couldn't get better than that. That dude got passed over for awards, and it kind of pisses me off because Patrick Stewart was phenomenal in Logan. He should have been up for Best Supporting, but you know, all those award shows until this year they want, you know, since they wanted to be cool with Black Panther and all that. Um, you know, saying it's Best Picture, which I mean, I love Black Panther, but come on. Um, that he got passed over made me mad, but I don't want to see anyone move over. Um, Desiree says, give all the spoilers. I'm sure everyone will understand. I have a feeling we probably won't hold anything back. Bill says, take care. Daniel says, give me our thoughts on Detective Pikachu. I'm not a big Pokemon fan, and I thought I was okay with it. I was bored. I thought the story was way too simple. I think fans of Pokemon will probably love it because it's like there would seem to be a lot of fan moments. Ryan Reynolds was the best part, but his humor was neutered because it was G-rated or PG-rated. It was fine. My kid went to the bathroom like 4 or 5 times during it, and he loves Pokemon. So I don't know. I think as much as people know, I know I'm not saying they should have went with the Ash story, but they should have went with something more like Pokemon, because when you have a story that has one Pokeball in it, a lot of people were upset about that. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know why they did Detective Pikachu. I mean, again, Pikachu was cute and the Pokemon looked cool and everything. It was a fine movie, but I didn't love it as much as I hoped. That's all I can really say about it. It was fine. I didn't hate it, but it was just fine. Too predictable, though. Bryce says, are you afraid of the dark? It's getting a movie. It's beyond me at how that's going to work. Yeah, I don't know. We just need more scary movies in theaters, I guess. There's not enough of them, right? Desiree says, hugs. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. If you have any more comments or whatever, you can put them in after the video goes up. After it gets posted again. But I'll answer them then. And, anyway, again, I'm sorry, guys. I'm really tired and I'm going to go and sign off. And Daniel, by the way, no, my son did not like Sonic trailer. He thought Sonic looks stupid. Good boy. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to go and sign off. Have a good night. Later.